What up, everybody? What the hell is up with this playlist, by the way? Hold on. Woo, that was random. And of course, as I'm trying to go live, somebody's at my front door. But guess what? I am not going to answer the door because I am busy. I've got a flight to get going on here. And yeah, I don't remember asking for a damn thing today to get delivered or serviced at my house. So I'm hoping this individual is actually getting ready to tune into this live so they can see me tell them to screw off. Guys, Captain Gonzo, that Flight Sim channel. I'm literally watching this lady here just standing in front of my door. Yeah, I don't know what she wants. What is she doing? I swear, it couldn't have happened at a worse time. I'm literally here getting started on the stream, and yeah, there's somebody here with some paperwork. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore them. Like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get set up. I'm gonna keep monitoring them here through my phone. If you hear me going crazy all of a sudden, then you know I gotta go take care of business. Guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, let me get back into my streaming mode here. We are going to be taking the Citation X yet again from Vegas over to Telluride. That is Kilo Tango X-ray or Echo X-ray. It'll be an interesting flight there. It'll be challenging to say the least. So I am looking forward to it. See what we can do here. And as you saw with the title as well, we are going to be getting back on SayIntentions AI. The last flight I did with the Citation X a few nights ago, it was okay with Beyond ATC. Now, to be fair, somebody did make a good point on the comments of that stream, and they said, hey, man, it's all about the phraseology that you're using with Beyond ATC, which I get it, right? It's a different, what is it, LLM, language learning model. I think that's what it stands for. So I get it. Beyond ATC is just probably coded differently. But here's my counterpoint to those great and valid points. Why is it so much more intuitive in SayIntentions? Why is it that I've had less difficulty and more of simplicity with SayIntentions over Beyond ATC? That's all I have to say. So that's why, moving forward, I think I'm going to be sticking to SayIntentions to do the rest of my flights, as I find it to be a far superior product. However, not perfect. Okay, I have to be honest there about that as well. So it is not perfect by any means. But anyways, just giving you the rundown of where my heart and my feelings are at right now. So let's go ahead and get on the aircraft here. Good news, the solicitor has departed my premises, so she is not any more of an issue for now. Now, if she comes back, then I'm going to have to yeet out of my second story here and go literally do a surprise jump in. All right, let me look at the comments for a second, guys. I'm so sorry, man. I'm over here getting caught up. Alpha GT, what's up, man? Just got home yesterday from Pankerage. Ended up buying the Velocity 1 flight stick and MetaQuest 3 and new Samsung Odyssey gaming monitor. Can't wait to use it. Awesome. Yeah, you're going to love it. Prime OG saying Super Mario music. Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry. Alpha saying, can't wait for the Honeycomb flight controls, getting the pedals, yoke, and quaddle charging. Yeah, that's what I'm using right now, man. I've got the Honeycomb Alpha, the Honeycomb Bravo, and I've got 3D printed throttles that you can get from Etsy and places like that. Kembis saying, hello, Captain Gonzo. Big fan of the channel, but never been able to come on live. Your work is amazing for the community. Oh, words from a longtime simmer and now airline pilot. Greetings from Paris. Oh, hey, thank you so much. That is very kind of you, man. Seriously, I appreciate it, especially an actual professional tuning into this simmer here. I'm just a noob, man. Remember, I'm just a private pilot. I'm going to start working on my instrument rating. That is it. All right. I don't fly jets. I don't fly anything complicated in the real world. I'm just a wannabe doing it through a simulator. Okay. So, but thank you for the love, man. That means so much. And then Prime OG saying, you grabbed the TriStar, got it yesterday. No, man, I have to get it. So I'll probably be doing that next week, though. Can't keep spending money. Yeah, Canvas, back to SayIntentions. Absolutely, man. And then Alpha saying, I ordered my controls, though. Best Buy didn't have them in stock. Well, you're not going to go wrong. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started. We're inside the cabin here, cold and dark. Let's get battery 1 and 2 online. Let's go to daytime on the integrated lighting. Let me arm the emergency lights. Hide the yoke for a second. Standby power. We still don't get the little green light here that should be illuminating. We're going to go to on. avionics and ECAS, engine indicated and crew alert system or crew advisory set. Let's check my window vents. Closed. Close the right side or FO side. Can I get the GPU? Nah, let's go APU. We've got an APU. Why not use it? Master switch is on. Let's test it. Yep, master warning. APU relay engaged. APU fail. I've got the CAS alert. Cool. Let's release it. Let's start it up. And we're watching RPM rise. Exhaust gas temperature rising. No more than 718 degrees Celsius. Thank you so much, Kembis, man. Seriously, I really appreciate the kind support and words. And I promise, as I go through my instrument rating and training and all that in the coming months, I will come back to the channel and I will rectify any incorrect stuff that I've been showing or demonstrating. I want to make this as realistic as possible, but again, within the confines of just being a simulator. But thank you so much, man. All right, so we've got the APU running, stabilized. Let's get the generator on and bleed air. And I love it how you can hear that. Nav light on. We'll keep everything else off for now. Let's get the IRS switches to align. Now, you guys know how I like to do it with the Citation 10 on a cold and dark. We're going to go through the bits here, or built-in test, or just tests. Smoke detection. There it is. Landing gear horn. Good horn. Fire warning. We've got fire warnings. You can see them illuminating here on either side of the FGC, flight guidance computer. Thrust reverse. We should see 3 stacked lights on either side. Flap. We should see a flaps fail and an amber annunciator with the master caution. Looks good. Windshield temperature. There it is. Got the in-op messages. Overspeed. Nonsense. The Citation 10 never overspeeds. We are speed. Stick shakers. Let's take a look at the A08 gauge right there. Good. And then the annunciator test. Checking every bulb. Everything is lighting up. Looks good. Test can go off. All right, we've got a good jet. Let's go ahead and first things first, let's grab ATIS. ATIS is our friend, 132.4. So we're going to press nav. We're going to go to tune. 1324 on right. The comms.
Departing runways 19 left, 26 right.
Okay.
Wind 200 at 12 gusting 22.
What up, Flacco?
Visibility 10. Few at 7,000. Broken at 20,000. Temperature 17. Dew point 4. Altimeter 2980. Density altitude 3,000 feet. Emergency vehicles positioned on the ramp. Monitor for activity. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
We've got Oscar.
Las
Oscar
Vegas
PS3.
Information, Oscar. 15562.
Let's just switch here real quick.
Arriving.
There we go. And we need clearance on 118.0. 118.0, com 1. Let's go ahead and give him a call. What I'm going to do is here, go to nav, tune, and I'm going to have it on the secondary, just to have my squawk ready. You guys ready? Let's pick up our IFR and see how SayIntentions treats us today, in contrast or in comparison to Beyond ATC on the last time we flew the Citation 10. And we're Upjet 902, again in the wheels up livery, just a simple, easy call sign to remember. All right. I just lost my train of thought. Oh my god, that lady in the door really threw me off, man. She stood there for like 5 minutes, so whoever she was, she wanted my attention and I am not giving that to her. All right. Vegas clearance, Upjet 902 with information, Oscar, signature ramp, requesting IFR to Telluride.
Give me 1 second for that clearance.
Unable. We're not giving you any seconds. There's Vegas. Let's look for the SID. I don't even know what departure I'm flying out of. Gidget.
Upjet 902 cleared to Telluride via the Gidget 3 departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 6,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure on 133.9 or 5, squawk 1336. Expect runway 26 right.
Okay, I think I got that. Yep. All right, we're clear to the Telluride Airport via Gidget 3 departure, then it's filed, climb and maintain 6,000. Expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure will be on 1339 or 5 squawking 1336, expecting 26 right for Upjet 902. Yeah, that one didn't come through, but I think they said read back correct. Okay, so we're good. Let's go to ground. 1211 is now on the ground frequency, or COM 1. So let's go ahead and initialize our McDo here. This is the fun part. We're going to put the EFB here with our SimBrief dispatch. So let's go back to nav, ident, pausing it, grab the GPS, load it, flight plan. KTEX is our arrival identifier. And we said that we're going to use the Gidget 3 when we're expecting 26 right for the departure. So let's click the departure key here. We're going to look for 26 right. Gidget 3. And looks like Tucker transition. We're going to activate that. That is our departure profile. 26 right, Gidget 3, Tucker transition. After Tucker, we're going direct Charlie Echo Zulu. Afterwards, Havwu. Next, we've got direct ETL, Echo Tango Lima. And then direct to Telluride, runway 9ers. So now let's go nav. Let's go to arrival. Runway 9. And let's see what kind of approaches we've got in there. So we've got localizer approach to runway 9er. We can select the RNAVs. And I think I'm feeling lucky. I'm going to go with an RNAV Zulu into Telluride just in case weather conditions don't become favorable. So I'm going to go, once again, Zulu. And ETL transition. There we go. No star. So we're going to go to arrival. See, no star, just runway 9. ETL transition going into the RNAV Zulu. So we're going to activate that. And you can see there's a duplicate here. So what we can do is it clear or departure? Or not departure, good lord. There we go. We're going to delete. This is throwing me off a little bit. And let's delete this continuity. And it's showing a hold, so I got to look at that RNAV, but no biggie. All right, performance init. Check all that fun info there. Climb, I want to cruise or climb a little bit more aggressive. I typically do 280, 260. I'm going to go 245. I want to get a good angle. Just climb up there like a rocket ship. Cruise max speed, descent at 300. That's fine. And then we're cruising at flight level 350. There's our standard temperature deviation, -1 degree. And then speed and altitude limits 250 at 10,000 or below 10,000. Now we're going to sync the EFB because remember I use the VAMS. That's what FlightFX calls their virtual aircraft management system. The tablet that's included. I already loaded my weight and balance and my fuel from the SimBrief dispatch you're seeing on screen. All I'm doing is telling the McDo here is to, hey, read and synchronize with that. And it checks out. 450 cargo, 4 packs. We've got good gross weight there. Estimated time en route, 48 minutes. Easy peasy. Fuel required. Look at that distance. We'll be there in no time. Takeoff. Looks like winds are... Let's look at our METAR. I just heard it, but I don't remember it. I know it's information, Oscar. Winds are 20012. So there we go. 200 at 12. Outside air temperature plus 16 degrees Celsius. The METAR slightly disagrees. It's going to be 17 degrees. And then the pressure altitude barometric set should be at 2980, which hasn't updated. That's fine. We're going to press next. Dry. Uphill slope. Density altitude. And let's go with flaps 5. Anti-ice off. Takeoff weight. Confirming it. Here's our takeoff weight. 27.9. So it's pretty much 28,000 pounds. Interesting winds. We'll be requiring 2,882 out of 14,000 feet. See, we got to take it nice and easy. We don't have to go crazy. 125, rotate 128, 139 V2. So I like it. that's all set. So what I'm going to do here is go to performance. I'm actually going to bring up this exact page over here. There we go. And I'm going to bring this one back to the flight plan. So we are all set. Let's go ahead and throw these to nav. You can see the green nav ready. All right. And since we're getting ready to fire up, I'm going to go ahead here and get our seatbelt signs on. Ground recognition lights on. That is your rotating beacon. And that should let everybody know around us that, hey, we're about to commence the startup. So I'm going to walk around, pull chocks. Let's make sure the ground crew connected our scissors once again. Yep, you can see the pin. Checking out the landing light, leading edge here on the left wing, checking the winglet. Beacon is on. Let's go ahead and stow this thing. Yeah, buddy. No engine covers. Empennaged. Horizontal stab look good. Rudder looks good. Make sure that beacon is flashing up there. Yep. You can just see it. These ramp workers are, as per usual, blocking my exit here. But at least I'm getting wing walkers. All right, mains are clear. Looks like the lav and GPU ports are covered. That's good. They're hatched. Fuel hatch secured. Good. All right, pitot, AOA, temperature probe, clear. Pitot on the nose, look good. And we're set, boys and girls. Let's climb aboard. Let's close the doors. Oh, yeah. It's about time, baby. Okay. We got the SID right there. However, I'm going to need my taxi diagram. Let's go to airport info. 26 right. It's going to be all the way yonder. And sorry, guys. I haven't even looked at the chat here in a few minutes, man. Prime OG. I will use the Men in Black powers or say on here. Say the word. Zach Timpone. Hey, Gonzo. I watched your Beyond ITC video. I primarily use it and have not tried SayIntentions. I'm assuming you prefer SayIntentions. Zach, yes. So watch right now. I'm going to fire up the Citation 10, and I want you to just listen to how the radios sound on SayIntentions. To me, it has more of an authentic sound, right? It sounds more realistic. You don't hear that like cueing digital noise that you hear in Beyond ATC, and the voices just sound more natural. So I want you to pay attention as I'm interacting with ATC, especially here as I'm taxiing across and getting ready for our departure. Just monitor and listen to how they respond. And later on in the arrival, I can try changing things up a little bit, maybe requesting a different approach or something. But to me, SayIntentions just feels a little bit better. But that's open to interpretation. Hey, Prime OG, he's saying I can't locate you at the Las Vegas airport. Yeah, I'm in the signature ramp. So if you look here, I'm going to show you on the map. I am like all the way at the end of runway 1 left and right. And at the end, next to 8 left and 8 right. So I'm right there. I'm going to have to taxi across, so you should see me. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, Kembis, that lady was shouting in the previous video with Beyond ITC. Yeah, she was angry, man. And I'm like, what's your deal, girl? Like, what's going on? I don't know what that was about, but it was pretty funny. All right, so before takeoff, not before takeoff, before engine start checks, fuel boost pumps norm, ignition norm, FADEX norm. We've got our generator switches on left and right to the up or on. They should trip and reset here momentarily once we fire up. I've got my isolation valve open. Left engine, right engine bleeds, high pressure, low pressure, cockpit packs to on. We'll probably turn those off right now. Let's confer with our start pressure. We've got 47. That looks good. And you guys know what to do here. Let's go ahead and fire up numero dos. Here we go. Watching N2. There's 10%. Get some gas. And just listen to that baby coming online here. Watch the oil pressure, oil temperature. There we go. That's a happy engine. N1 stable, oil pressure and temperature stable. ITT looking good. Let's reset that gen. We're going to repeat the same process. We still got good start. Bleed air valve is open. Number 1. Same thing. Monitor N1. Watch that oil temperature and oil pressure for the left engine now. Let me know if that's a little bit too low, by the way, on the audio. I can always bring up the sim audio so you guys can enjoy the sounds. But I think watching the last video actually sounded perfect in my opinion. Okay, 2 good engines. N1 stable, ITT looking good on both sides. Oil temperature and pressure looking stable. So I am happy with that. Ah, Primo G, that sucks, man. You've been escorting me left and right, man. And if you're not showing up or I'm not showing up, it could be something on the servers, man. It's not your fault. Okay, after engine start, so we're going to go ahead and return these pack switches to on. ISO valve to close. HPLP. We can turn off the bleed air from the APU. Generator off. Let's go ahead and stop the APU. Can open up the window vents. Let's bring flaps down to 5. So here's slats. Flaps 5. Let's not forget our pitch trim here, or elevator trim. I know some of you guys get really technical in the comments, and you're like, actually, is this? And it's like, no, dude, it's interchangeable. Pitch trim, elevator trim, you know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm not mad. You are. All right, anyways, so we're good there. Ground collision light is on, or anti-collision light. After takeoff or after startup, good Lord. Checks look good to me. We've got 6,000 set. Paul Van Bokhurst has just subscribed. Thank you so much, man. Element saying, I think I know this guy. What? Wearing a signature hat, sitting at a signature ramp on a Citation 10 and wheels up colors? No, you don't know me, man. Look at this, bro. All right, let's go ahead and start taxiing. Remember, we're still on the ramp here. We're not on an active taxiway, so we don't have to talk to ground yet. I just want to check my brakes. Good brakes. All right, clear on the left. Clear on the right here. Look at that PC-24 right there. Make way for the real BizJets coming out, baby. All right, so we're going to hold short here before we enter the movement area here on an active taxiway. And we are expecting 26 right for departure, so we've got to go across and all the way down over there. Let's put this to headset. Element, yeah, brother. Hit me up, brother. I should be free all day. Just go ahead and text me whenever you can, man, and we'll have a little chat, brother. Vegas ground upjet 902 with Oscar at signature requesting taxi for departure.
Upjet 902, runway 26 right taxi via Hotel Bravo, hold short of runway 1 left, then Bravo, hold short of runway 1 right, then Delta Charlie.
All right, that's going to be Hotel Bravo, hold short of 1 left, then Bravo, holding short of 1 right, then Delta Charlie to runway 26 right for Upjet 902. Cool, so Hotel Bravo, hold short of 1 left, then Bravo, 1 right.
Upjet 902, cross runway 1 left, then continue taxi via Bravo, hold short of runway 1 right, then Delta Charlie.
All right, cross 1 left, then continue via Bravo, holding short of 1 right, then Delta Charlie for Upjet 902. Cool, that was simple. We're going to come up here on Hotel. We're going to make a right. Once again, scanning left. Scanning right. And guys, again, just listen to SayIntentions if you're not a customer, and you guys let me know what you think, because ultimately, again, I might be biased, but I do pay for both services. Remember, keep that in mind. And I just happen to enjoy the experience with SayIntentions that much more as opposed to Beyond ATC. Dude, don't make me laugh, bro. He's saying you and V1 streaming at the same time is like picking which parents you want to go with during a divorce. Nah, man. You know, we're not that cool here, man. Again, we're just a couple of geeks here, a couple of noobs. Dude, you guys are too nice to us, man. I don't deserve this. I'm just an idiot here, flying jets. Like I said, a wannabe, just having fun, man. There's Bravo. We've been cleared across one left, but we got to hold short of one right before continuing on Delta Charlie to runway 26 right. So here we go. We're going to cross. Let's get landing lights on, strobes on. Looking right.
Approaching runway 1.
Looking left. Okay, we're going to go over the hold short lines for one left. Strobes off, landing lights off. And here is runway 1 right. So we're going to hold short.
Runway 1 left.
Upjet 902, hold short of runway 1 right, A319 on the runway.
Holding short of 1 right for Upjet 902. There's the 319.
Upjet 902, hold short of runway 1 right, 737 on the runway.
Holding short for traffic on the runway for Upjet 902.
Approaching runway 1 right.
Wow, Allegiant doing that catapult takeoff. Look at that. That's cool. Alpha, what's Beyond ATC? So, it's an AI air traffic control service with a traffic injection like you're seeing right now, but this is SayIntentions. So Beyond ATC, I think, came out first. I could be wrong with that, by the way. Correct me if I'm wrong. Beyond ATC was what we started using first in the sim, and pretty much what it is you're talking to AI, and you're having to change frequencies. You're having to talk to an AI air traffic controller, but it synchronizes with your Debrief flight plan if you've got it, and that way you get more of an immersive experience inside the flight sim experience. So, Kembis, do you fly a lot as VFR with SayIntentions? I actually have been doing it more often now, especially now that we have the ability to do pop-up IFRs. So I like putting SayIntentions to the test when I am doing VFR flights and seeing how good it is. Okay, that 7-3 is still holding short. What is he doing? Ground, Upjet 902. Can we cross one right at Bravo?
Roger, pushback approved. American 1849.
Las Vegas ground, Upjet 902. Can we cross one right?
Upjet 902, cross runway 1 right, approved.
Crossing 1 right approved for Upjet 902. Landing lights on, strap lights on. Here we go. Let's get going. That 7-3 never moved, so I wasn't going to wait.
Southwest 7054, push and start approved.
Prime OG, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to recheck my multiplayer settings, which I never really touch here or play with, so I don't know what happened. Okay, what was it? Delta Charlie, right? So okay, so I'm gonna have to turn left here. I'm supposed to go on Charlie, and I'm on Bravo. Yeah, I was supposed to take that fork in the road there and hit up on Delta and then Charlie. So let's do that now before I get yelled at. Love the slope here. You can see the elevation change on the field. Let's go ahead and do a flight controls check here as we're on our way over there. So checking elevator. Good aileron. We know rudder's good. Speed brakes fully extended and retracted. Alpha, so what is SimBrief? I want to get into this, so I was hoping to learn as much as I can. So SimBrief is a service. You can actually use it for free. What it allows you to do is mimic real-world flight planning and dispatching. What you do is you set your destination or your point of origin, your destination, what type of aircraft. What's Southwest doing here, bro? Southwest just cutting me off here, even though I was cleared to taxi. Okay, Southwest, just go ahead and do your thing. No big deal. I'm sorry. So yeah, SimBrief gives you that ability to generate a flight plan that mimics real-world operations, and it gives you the opportunity to edit your weight, your aircraft type, what type of flight plan is it scheduled, is it general aviation. There's so many features. And yes, to answer Keith's question, the Citation X, as far as I know, does have the SimBrief integration, so you can just extract and download the flight plan through the McDo once you've generated your flight. Yeah, Prime OG, Southwest is gonna do Southwest things, man. They come to Vegas and they think they own the place. All right, so we checked flight controls. Everything felt and looked good. I'm gonna pop a Zen in. First one of the day. It always feels good. This is gonna be quite a lengthy taxi too, since we've got to get all the way down. Oh, look at that lineup of traffic. Nah, I'm not waiting. I'm about to break realism here. I am not waiting in line here for 17 aircraft to take off. I am not trying to be that realistic, guys. I'm sorry. By the way, if you're wondering, the scenery is by Flight Tampa, one of the legacy scenery developers for Flight Simulator. And they're always just so good, man. Let me look at the textures on the taxiway. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing here. Yeah, Flacco, give me a minute, man. I'll show it in a little bit here. I gotta get around this traffic, dude. I don't even know if this taxiway is gonna make it all the way down. Oh yeah, we can. We're gonna cut them off. And we're actually kind of going uphill here. It feels funny. You can feel I gotta get on the power. That's what you get, Southwest. Wow, is it really that uphill? Look at this. I'm at 48% N1, and this thing's not really moving. Yeah, there's no way, guys, I'll ever wait this long in traffic. If this was VATSIM, hey, man, I wouldn't really have a choice, right? I would like to keep it real, but this is AI traffic. I'm going to make them wait for me, not the other way around. Yeah, and Keith, what he's saying is, yeah, so it'll populate right once you like fetch the data from SimBrief, but yes, it still communicates. Look at that Korean Air 777, by the way. Badass. APU master is off. Yeah, Flacco, you see, bro? I'm not waiting for anybody here.
902, contact tower on 118.75.
Tower 118.75 for Upjet 902. I'm going to cut off this American 321 too. I do my own thing, bro. Just completely cut him off, man. That's the beauty of having a small jet here, not an airliner. And look at this guy. What's this guy doing? He's beyond the whole short lines. Whatever. I'm gonna do my thing here. 11875, I think was my tower freak. Yep. Las Vegas ground up, jet 902, holding short 26 right, ready for departure. Okay, let's go check out our SID.
Upjet 902, Las Vegas Tower, runway 26 right, hold short. You're number 1 behind the 737.
Holding short 26 right behind the 73 for Upjet 902. Hey, Alpha. No, you don't need to have SimBrief to use, well. That's kind of a tricky question there, because I forget it. I don't know if SayIntentions picks up flight plans from like the EFB, but let me show you what it looks like here, since Captain Flacco reminded me. So you can see there's an app here called SimBrief Dispatch, and here's what the flight plan is, right? Call sign, departure, arrival, or alternate, what type of aircraft, the date. Here's your flight plan summary, 35,000 cruising, your Mach speed for cruising, which is also tied in your performance, and then you've got your weights. Here's your route. And so what happens is once you file this and you generate it, what is it? SayIntentions and Beyond ATC, right? They both pick up on that active flight plan with your call sign. So all you do is check in with them and go from there. But I can't remember if you have to do the flight plan through SimBrief. I know for VFR flying, you don't. You can just load in, press new flight, and you just call them by whatever call sign you want to be called, and they should be able to recognize you. Keith, does the Citation 10 have an altitude banana on screen for attitude or altitude changes? Altitude banana? I'm not familiar. And yeah, we're still waiting on the 7-3. Dude, this guy is... What is he doing?
Delta 927 short of 19er left, ready for departure.
I guess this is payback. A, for talking crap about BNATC, and B, for cutting off Southwest or talking crap about them earlier, so... Okay, I'm going to give him a few more seconds. If he's not up, I'm going to completely go right through him. So let's check our standard instrument departure here, Sid. So we're going to take off on a western heading here, 259 degrees. We got to climb and go above 2,681 feet MSL. Leland should be at maximum 210 knots at or below 8,000 MSL. Then we're going to make a right turn to the northwest, 336. Glean, max 230 at or above 5,000. Bach, Alley, Tia, Gidget, and from there we go to Tucker. So for runway 26 and right, 26 left and right, there we go. It's pretty much what we just depicted on the chart. Takeoff obstacles. Do we have any obstacles here? For 26 right, standard with minimum climb of 500 feet per nautical mile to 2681, then 271 feet per nautical mile to 4100. It's a Citation 10. We'll do it. All right, so we're going to set our heading bug 259 degrees. If this guy doesn't get off my damn runway here, I'm going to ram right through him. So let's go 259 degrees on the heading bug. Should be a runway heading. $259 degrees. Say it. All right, boys and girls. I don't give a rat's ass anymore. I am going to have to overtake this guy. Oh, give me 1 second. There we go. I'm gonna have my departure frequency set for my scratch pad. Tower, Upjet 902. We're gonna take off runway 26 right. I don't know what the hell Southwest is doing or thinking, but they've been on that runway way too long. So yeah, go ahead and give me that phone number. I'll go ahead and call them. Landing lights on, strobe lights on. Let's get our timer. Elapsed time.
Runway 26 right, hold short. You're number 1 behind the 737.
Unable for Upjet 902. We're taking off on runway 26 right now. I'm not holding for anybody else. Bye-bye.
Runway 26 right.
Okay, give it a little bit of left aileron into the wind here. Oh, pedostatic heat. There we go. Power set. Airspeed's alive. I'm done playing nice here. Okay, straighten out the wheel, relieving that pressure, and rotate. Ooh, look at that wind, baby. Positive rate. Gear up. Remember, we're looking for 2681 MSO. No more than 210 knots. So let's go ahead and enable auto throttle. Looking good. We're still hand flying. Taxi light can come off.
902, contact departure.
Over to departure, object 902. Bye-bye. Vegas departure, object 902 at 3,700, climbing 6,000 on the Gidget 3 departure. Let's go, flaps up.
Jet 902, Las Vegas departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 12,000, clear direct to Lolly.
Climb and maintain 12,000, clear direct to Lolly for object 902. 12,000, let's go find our flight plan. Where's a Lolly? A Lolly, yeah, baby. So let's go direct. Next, a Lolly. Let's go nav, VNAV, flight level change, autopilot, baby. Here we go. Oh, Keith. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I don't remember, actually. I don't remember if that shows here. But we'll monitor it, man. Alright, we're just monitoring.
902, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 for object 902. 24,000 set on the flight guidance computer there. Let's go ahead and get an N2 sync on the turbine. Let's get our recognition lights. That's probably a good idea. There we go. Strobes are on. Everything's still looking good. So here we go. I'm going to zoom in on my PFD a little bit there. We've got the flight director. We've got a flight path vector there, Q, or a pitch Q there. You can see our speed is limited right now to 245 with the auto throttle. We're climbing to 24,000. Look at that climb rate. Almost 4,000 feet a minute. Just lovely. Let's get weather. Weather radar is on. There we go. And see, that little direct to the Lolly saved us a couple minutes. Instead of having to do that full turnaround, we're just doing whatever ATC wants us to do. Kinius Tony Tuthill, am I saying that right? Good afternoon. Cheers. Thanks, brother. Welcome aboard. Thank you for being here with me once again. And thank you guys for anybody that's out there in the world watching me. Once again, Captain Gonzo, that Flight Sim channel. Just having some fun. Doing a quick hop here on the Citation 10.
Contact Nellis approach on 118.125.
118.125 for object 902. Bye-bye. I'm like really twitchy today. I don't know why. What was that? 118.125. Now let's approach. Oh, I'm going to call them, let them know I want to buzz the tower. All right, we're above 10,000. Landing lights can come off. Oh, sorry. I have it here on my honeycomb. And we're climbing at 245. Beautiful. Still aggressive. Now let's approach object 902, crossing 140. Climbing flight level 240. And it looks like we're direct to Terra, or Tia.
Jet 902, Nellis approach. Good morning.
Good morning. And Nellis Air Force Base is right underneath us right there. There's the racetrack. There's Nellis. Nothing to it, boys and girls. Nothing serious. Get a little bit more range over here. Looks like nothing's being picked up on the weather.
902, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain 34,000 for object 902. Flight level 340 set on the FGC. We're good. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, right? So on FlightFX's rendition of the Citation 10, they give you these little 3 cheap knobs, right? You see these screws? You can actually manipulate your course, your CDI here, your altitude, and your heading.
Upjet 902, contact Los Angeles Center on 127.35.
12735 for Upjet 902. Bye-bye. Los Angeles Center. Upjet 902 climbing flight level 190340. Let's go standard on the Barrow. 2992.
Upjet 902, Los Angeles Center, good morning.
Good morning. But yeah, guys, you have those cheap little screws right there, so you don't have to look down, because otherwise you've got to look down here just behind the throttle quadrant, just behind your engine sync and your landing lights, and do your settings here. For me, I've got them mapped to my Honeycomb Bravo with the autopilot panel, and I can just turn the knobs as needed for heading, altitude, airspeed, etc. Keep saying, I think the X has a vertical guidance you can add to the second from the left screen, but no banana. Oh, wait, are you asking about the vertical profile? Is that what you're referring to? I'm sorry, man. I might be misinterpreting what you're asking, and I apologize. Vertical profile. Are you talking about this? Right there? Because I know the 7.3's got it. I don't know about the CRJ. I haven't flown the CRJ in a long time, so... But if this is what you're referring to, yes, it is available, and it is very, very useful. You can see our top of climb there depicted after Gidget, and it's very, very useful. And oh no, good Lord, I'm an idiot. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Keith, you're talking about that green banana that shows here on the navigation display, kind of estimating where your top of climb is going to be according to what altitude you set.
Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, Upjet 902. So no, you can see right now, I don't see it. I wonder if it is an option. Let's go MFD setup. No, I don't see it. I don't see that there, bud. I'm sorry. But at least you get a top of climb indication showing you where you're going to be. And then look right here, just to the very top of my navigation display. You see TOD, that is your top of descent. So you do get those cues at least. Sorry, Keith. Man, I went all over. And when you said banana and I read it again for like the 15th time, I was like, oh, he's talking about the cue there. Okay, so yeah. I see what you're saying, bud. Does the PFT weather work? No. Nah, I'm happy with it over here on the MFD anyways. Copy that, Keith. No worries, brother. I'm sorry again that I went all over looking for that, so. Did I set my transponder? Yeah, I did. Yeah, 1336. I would have been yelled at by now anyways. Okay, looking at my engine instruments on the climb here. Looking good. "17 minutes on the clock since we took the runway. Got wheels up." Oh, no, sorry. 9 minutes. 9 minutes. Whoops. We've got traffic around us. No factor for now, though. Nothing's popping up. Everybody's off to our southeast. Interesting. I wonder what route they're at. Let's see if we can spot them. They're all below us because they're peasants. They're not a Citation 10 like we are. Nothing seen, boys and girls. I don't see anybody. Anybody want to point me in the direction towards Groom Lake Air Force Base, aka Area 51? Let's go to the nav map here. Where's Groom Lake? We can pretend we're Janet Air and just tell Center that we're going transponder code, and we're going to do our own thing, but I don't even know if there's a scenery for Groom Lake. Maybe there is. Access blocked yet again. I don't know what's up with that, man. There's a Nevada Test and Training Range, Fort Irwin, Naval Air Warfare Center, China Lake, Edwards. I don't know, man. I don't think we're going to see any aliens today. It's all right. Guys, and if you're unfamiliar with where we're heading to, it's Telluride. It's going to be, I think it has an airport elevation of like 9,000 feet. Let's see if I'm right. Let's go back. Let's go to Navigraph. We're no longer in the SID. I think we've already passed Tucker. KTEX.
133.45 for Southwest 1595. Good day.
Probably a good idea to get familiar here. Yeah, look at that. Runway 9, elevation of 9,038 feet. So remember, that means that the airfield itself is sitting 9,038 feet above sea level. So kind of gets tricky, right? Because then you start throwing out terms like AGL, above ground level, which is your actual true distance from the ground above. So that's important to know. Second thing we got to remember, using our altimeter, we're in mean sea level. So depending on what altimeter setting we've got, we'll have to monitor our altitude. Third thing is density altitude. So the density altitude in layman's term, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is what the altitude really feels like. So in terms from engine performance, the higher up you go, the less air molecules there are available. So performance is hindered a little bit. And I learned that the wrong or the hard way recently. Captain Flaco and I were on the Phoenix. We took off from St. Martin. We went down to Colombia. I forgot what airport. And that elevation was like 8,000 feet. Density altitude was showing 7,900 feet or 8,200 feet, something like that. And I went to idle power as I was flaring, and that aircraft sunk. And again, because that density altitude is a factor that affects our performance. So I have to keep that in mind as we're getting set up for our approach into runway 9. And I'm probably going to have to be on the power a lot more than I typically would be if the airfield was closer to sea level. But yeah, 9,038 feet. I'll have to set that on my pressurization, which once again I forgot to set. So I'm going to ignore that right now. We're alive. We're well. What else I have to look for here? So let's see. Takeoff obstacle and departure procedure for 9. Not applicable right now. Let's check the approach. What did we say? The RNAV Zulu, right? Runway 9. So there's that hold at Cones. Echo Tango Lima. That's the VOR station there. 116905. And I think we're coming from Havre. There we go. So on a course of 58 degrees, we should be entering a holding. However, we'll see what ATC instructs us to do. So we don't have ATIS. We've got AWOS, which is Automated Weather Observation System, 118325, Denver Center. We'll probably be talking to them as we begin our descent. Final approach towards 96 degrees. SETMA, that is our intermediate fix, right? I believe so. Or is that our final fix? Final approach fix? I forget, guys. I got to brush up on this. And there we go. Minimum descent altitude, 10,640 feet mean sea level, or 1,602 feet above ground level. That's what the parentheses is for on your instrument approach procedure or plate. Once again, airport elevation 9,070, touchdown zone 9,038. Minimum safe altitude around the MSA, or sorry, runway 9 is 15,500. And look at why. We've got some terrain here. We've got terrain at 13,000, 11,937 feet, 12,400. So we've got to keep an eye out for that terrain. That is a factor. And the event that we go miss, we're going to do a climbing right turn to 15,000 direct to the ETL VORTAC, or VOR, which is Cones, and hold, continue climb and hold to 15,000. Missed approach requires a minimum climb of 380 feet per nautical mile to 12,500. If unable to meet the climb gradient, see RNAV Yankee. Okay, so we can meet it. I'm highly certain we can. And let's see. Look at the descent angle, by the way, a little bit steeper than your standard 3 degrees. So 3.59 degrees. I think our VREF should be close to 120. So we are going to be descending at 762 feet per minute. And there's our missed approach point if we don't see the runway. All right, cool. Let's go see what's happening on the aircraft. We're cruising. We're at 35,000. Let's go ahead and turn off the seatbelt signs. Everything's looking good, guys. No complaints. We're approaching Nicole here. We're going to make a left turn here. Let's look outside. All right, let me get on the chat here, man. Keith, you Canadian? No, sorry, necessary subscribe. No, man, that's a good joke, though. You guys are something else, man. You guys make my day. No, man, I'm Puerto Rican, right? So I was born in the island of Puerto Rico. Myself and Captain Flaco, who run this channel, we do a lot of flying together when we can. But we're Central Floridians now. We've been in Central Florida for over 25 years. Casper, are you using the add-on scenery for Telluride? No, I'm using the default scenery. I've never downloaded a scenery there. I think the default's okay. There was a little bit of a bug one time. There was a crazy like uphill taxiway, like very unnatural. So I hope it's fixed by now. Kenya's Telluride is beautiful. Absolutely. Last time I flew there was on the turboprop Bonanza from Blackswear, and it was challenging. Keep saying you'll know the banana if anyone else ever mentions it in the future. If the semicircle was yellow, the question would have made more sense. Yeah, I got you, man. Casper, yes, it is. Telluride, Aspen are two of my favorite places to fly to. Absolutely. Both beautiful places. I've been cheating on landing as I tune to the ILS in course and use the autoland. That's not cheating. There's nothing wrong with that, man. If you know how to set up an ILS and you know how to configure your autopilot in order to track and go through the full autoland, that's not cheating. Blazed and Confused Aviation has just subscribed. Thank you. By the way, guys, I got to tell you, I texted Captain Flaco this morning when I woke up, and I'm like, dude, 12,000 subscribers. You guys made this possible. We are so happy and so honored to get to that milestone. Just about 8 months ago, we were at 6,000, maybe 7,000 subs, and seeing how the channel is picking up momentum, we're so happy to get that outreach, and we're so happy to bring you guys content that you guys like. So thank you. Can't thank you enough for that. I really appreciate the support. And hold on, guys. Let me just look at my phone. My wife texted me here. She's actually just touching down right now at Dallas. She travels for work, and she was telling me that they had some gnarly weather. Southwest, go figure. Oh, bumpy landing. Keith, I'm Canadian. I like your vibe, passion, and knowledge. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that, man. And remember, just a simmer, just like you guys, right? Just trying to have fun, do the best I can. Alpha, I see the uphill runway and taxiway all the time in Alaska. Maybe it's just my Starlink internet connection, though, but I noticed many bugs in many locations in Alaska. Yeah, the photogrammetry is not perfect, and the sceneries are not perfect by any means, but I still like the level of detail we get, and Telluride is a very, very nicely detailed airport. Kinius has just subscribed, man. Thank you, guys. You guys are too nice. You guys are too nice to us, man. Come on. Somebody call me a name or something. Say I'm dumb. Come on, don't be so nice now. Yeah, Heath, it's a hit or miss, 40 to 60. Absolutely. Primo G. Yes, sir, we here. Yeah, man, Primo G, you're one of the loyal ones, man. I really appreciate you're always watching us and trying to fly with me. Casper responding to Heath, I do the same thing with my airliners too, set up autoland and have hands at the ready to take over if needed. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Again, it's a real life procedure, especially in Cat 3. Very low visibility. You got to trust your instruments and let the aircraft do its thing, man. You can't hand fly. I mean, you can, I guess, right? There's nothing besides airline operations, I'm assuming, or operator or regulations. I'm not familiar with that yet. But if you want to try hand flying a Cat 3 approach, go for it. I'm sure it'll be fun, challenging, and when you do touch down, you'll feel so much better, man. Let's go see what my passengers are doing. I haven't talked to them at all. This guy looks like he's the boss. I don't want to be stereotypical. Maybe it's one of these lovely ladies up front. Oh, Sarah here getting feisty. What are you doing? Are you throwing gang signs? What are you doing, girl? Mary over here, she looks like she's just chilling. Are those Ugg boots? Nah. I like how they're all sitting upright too. They're like nervous.
Flight level 320.
Coaster 528, radar contact.
Keith, man, you're making me laugh, dude. That's hilarious, dude. I get that all the time. People are like, why aren't you in broadcasting or radio? And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Country 102, radar contact.
I'm getting a little creeped out by these passengers, by the way. But yeah, I get that a lot, man, about my voice. It's funny though, when I fly in real world, I get very, I don't know if like twitchy is the right thing to say, but sometimes I speak way too fast, and I have to remind myself, slow down, sound cool, passive, collective. And I had an instructor tell me one time, like, dude, stop responding so fast, just take your time. And I'm like, you're right. But I appreciate the feedback, man. Casper, looks like they're constipated trying to push out a turd. And yeah, Primo G, to your point, again, this is only possible because we get people like yourselves tuning in, interacting with me. I mean, look at this. We're already cruising. It's been 21 minutes since we got airborne. After Tucker, top of the descent should be coming up. And so you guys make this experience that much more fun, interactive, keeps me distracted, because you guys know it, right? When you're cruising and you're by yourself, you're checking your phone, you're maybe increasing the sim rate, and it gets a little dull. But when I have people like you watching and just having fun, it makes this so much better, makes my day. And yeah, I can't say thank you enough to our community of followers, watchers. We really love you guys, man, seriously. Keith, I'm from Newfoundland. Humor and sarcasm comes naturally. Hell yeah. Yeah, we've got a very dark sense of humor here at the Flight Sim channel. We try to keep it nice and calm, though. We want kids, right, younger generation that are learning to fly on Xbox and even on PC or PlayStation. We want them to be obviously a very family-friendly environment, all right? Because I don't want to be talking nonsense, using profanity, getting into trouble with parents somewhere across the world, all right? So we try to keep it cool, but sometimes I do get a little heated, and I get carried away, but I try to keep it clean, I promise. And I do have family members, younger family members. I consider them my nephews or my cousins' kids. They do watch the channel, and last thing I need is a phone call from family members saying, hey, dude, what was that? Why did you say that? Now my kid is repeating it. And my son, he's still young, very young. He's in that age where he's picking up words, and I don't need him to watch this and say a bad word, because then his mother, my wife, will kill me. Yeah, Prime OG, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're doing a long haul, or even like a 3-hour flight, 4-hour flight, it gets a little dull, man. By the way, hold on. Let's look at our performance right now. I want you to see.
902, contact Los Angeles Center on 124.85.
12485 for Upjet 902. Hasta la vista, baby. That was that Puerto Rican accent. Okay. Los Angeles Center, Upjet 902, flight level 350.
Upjet 902, Los Angeles Center. Good morning.
Good morning. How's your day going, sir?
Upjet 902 busy. Go ahead.
He said busy. No, just wanted to check in, make sure you were having a good day for Upjet 902.
Upjet 902, affirmative. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, by the way, you guys have seen me use the co-pilot, right, with SayIntentions. That is one of the features that's available. I do feel like that's one of the premium features, however. And yes, SayIntentions is a subscription-based service, but for me, guys, I have no problem paying for it because it gives me value. It gives me that next-level realism and immersion where it keeps me busy at the controls and the radios. But check this out. I'm going to go to SayIntentions. I'm going to change my co-pilot, and I want you to hear in on co-pilot Steve, but he's a pirate now. Just give me 1 minute. Intercom. Where is he? Yes, here he is. And I want him to have an English accent.
Upjet 902, contact Denver Center on 127.55.
Denver Center 12755 for Upjet 902. Bye-bye. Oh, 12755. Denver Center, upjet 902 at flight level 350. Okay, just barely came through. All right, so check it out. I'm going to call Steve now on the intercom, and I want you guys to listen to his accent and his voice. Hey, Steve, Captain Gonzo over here. How do you hear me?
Hi, Captain Gonzo. I hear you loud and clear, like a cannon blast on a calm sea.
Steve, are we going to find some booty today?
Hi, Captain Gonzo. We're on course for Telluride, but no booty in sight today. Just smooth skies and a safe landing ahead.
Copy that, Steve. I'll keep flying. You just help me monitor the aircraft and communications. But yeah, I'll handle communications for this time. I'll let you know if I need you.
Hi, Captain Gonzo. I'll keep an eye on the skies and the ship systems. Just give me a shout if you need me help with the comms or anything else.
It's dumb. I know it's dumb, guys. But again, one of those features that SayIntentions gives you where you can have some fun. If you're bored, you can just talk to them all the time. And I get personal sometimes, and I start insulting them. Heath, no booty inside story of my life. Oh my God, man. TJ saying it sounds like you putting on a voice. I should try that. But I don't think I can do it, and it's gonna be cringy as hell, man. So Primo G said family friendly, y'all. We want Gonzo to be alive. Keith grew up in Gander. Charlie Yankee Quebec X-ray. Often got to see the Concorde land. Oh, as it was the alternate to New York back then. That is amazing. The Concorde, a true unicorn back in its day, man. I think I only saw it. No, I never saw it. Never saw it in real life. I've seen the static ones at New York at the Intrepid Museum, but that's it, man. I've never seen one fly. That must have been a hell of a sight. Prime saying I always have my third person in plane, the flight nerd who says all the famous locations we're near. That's cool. Hey, Steve, did you bring the coffee and the donuts? I'm hungry.
Aye, Captain Gonzo. I be a pirate, not a barista. No coffee or donuts aboard, just the open skies and the thrill of the flight.
Well, I'm glad you're having a good time, and thank you for being friendly, Steve. I guess we'll buy some coffee and donuts when we get to Telluride. Sounds good?
Aye, Captain Gonzo. Coffee and donuts be awaiting us in Telluride. Let's keep our course true and steady till then.
Aye, aye, sir. Course true and steady.
Aye, Captain Gonzo. True and steady she goes, like a ship on calm seas. We'll keep our heading and be ready for the descent into Telluride.
All right, I'm gonna give Mr. Steve there a break. He's probably gonna get annoyed at me and just walk out and go back and hang out with the passengers. Keith, the black smoke, the sound, and our house would even shake. Yeah, man. I mean, that thing was literally a rocket ship. I think I saw a video of famous go around. Was it a JFK or somewhere like that? And the controllers were actually like talking to themselves, and they're like, "He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it." And as soon as that thing went into full afterburner for the go around, man, what a time to be alive. See, I grew up in the 90s. I remember seeing DC-9s, DC-8s, DC-10s, MD-11s, L-1011s, all the classic birds, the 727s. I flew the 727, or flew on, sorry. I flew on the 727, flew on the MD-80s. Those old smoke-generating aircraft with the JT-8s. I mean, those were the true times to be alive, man. Powered pushbacks. You guys remember that? So DC-9s, MD-80s, and the 727s would actually just use reverse thrust from the gate and just back up themselves. That is the coolest thing ever, man. But of course, they were producing a lot of what do you call it? A lot of contamination in the atmosphere, so they had to stop doing that, and they were burning a lot of fuel. Oh, I forgot to show you guys because we're literally a rocket ship right now. Look at that. We're cruising Mach 9.0. And look at our ground speed, 591 knots with 66 up the tailpipe. Doesn't get any better than that. This is where the Citation 10 really thrives. Up in the flight levels, just hauling, getting to your destination faster than you can say booty.
05 Bravo, direct final. Cleared for the island's runway 4 approach. Descend and maintain 7,000 feet until...
Prime, I'm down for that. He's coming in saying, not gonna lie, we should do retro plane flights like the Concorde, MD-11, TriStar, or old jets. So I do have the MD-11. That is one of the add-ons this year that really surprised me the most. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, and what a masterpiece TFDI have given us. So I am 100% down. I don't have the Concorde, and I haven't bought the L1011 yet, but I will be buying it. I will be learning it because I do want to get into a tutorial mindset with that and kind of start making some videos. So that'll be fun. Prime saying, I was born in 2007. I was too late for the fun. Yeah, no, I get it. But hey, man, aviation is aviation, man. It's still an amazing industry now with all the modern technology. If you want to see something cool, just go to YouTube, look up the Gulfstream G700, look at the Falcon 6X. What else? The Global 7500. Look at those monsters. And I want you to pay attention to the flight decks and what those guys get to fly with and play with. They are top of the line avionics and systems. It's like playing a video game, flying those modern jets. Keith, we also had lots of Aeroflot traffic. Not that that was, now that was black smoke. Yeah, those Illusion 96s and 76s, I believe. Tupolifts, yeah. Aeroflot, never saw them in person, but that could be amazing. Casper, hope we get a Bombardier Global Express. Really want a business jet that can do long haul. Yeah. Yeah, Captain Flacco and I have been talking about that. And so if you guys are not familiar, Gulfstream and even Bombardier with those higher end airplanes, they're very picky with how they're rendered and, you know, presented in a simulation. So as far as I know, they haven't given any licensing rights to developers to make them. And that's why we're lacking. But I wish they would, man. You know how amazing it would be to get on a G650 or even an older G550, G450, G280 and just do some medium to long hauls on those planes. Man, what a thrill that would be. Okay, so we are getting close to our top of the descent. Look at the weather, by the way. Let me look at my weather right now at Telluride. So using weather from Telluride, again, this is an AWOS, automated weather observations. So on the second day at 1715 Zulu, winds are out of the southeast. So runway 9 is still okay. At 9 knots, gusting 15, visibility 10 miles or 10 statute miles, cleared of clouds, temperature 4 degrees, -2 on the dew point, altimeter 299.7. Okay, not bad at all. We can make it happen. Let's see how far. So we're probably about 40 miles away from our top of descent. Yep, maybe 30 miles now. We can always check the progress key here. There we go, 30.4 nautical miles away. And if center does not give us the instruction to descend, I will let them know that we'd like to descend. And then I'm just going to set 15.5 on the flight guidance computer. That is our minimum safe altitude. But ATC should be handling us here, no problem. Prime, did you see the Artemis space takeoff yesterday? It was cool. Yeah, that launch was pretty awesome. So I don't know if you guys have been listening to me, but I work over there. I don't work for NASA. I work for a private company building a super heavy lift rocket. We've only launched twice. We've recovered our booster once, so that should give you an idea of who I work for. I don't want to say the name, but yeah, I work out there, and I saw the first Artemis when it launched in November of 2022. It was around 1 in the morning, and I have the video here recorded, but I got to see Artemis 2 yesterday from my parents' house. It was awesome. Keith recommended watch 9/11 cleared for chaos. YouTube, Gander Center. Oh, okay. I'll check that out, man. Bellissimo Monero? Yo, the amount of flights it took me to finally perfect my landing in Citation 10 is ridiculous. Really? Dude, the Citation 10 is one of those planes that once you stabilize it on your approach and you get some good pitch trim in there or elevator trim, it just maintains that descent, man. Really, that's interesting. But watch, I'm saying that now, and then I'm gonna mess up this landing. Cedric, hey man, I'm here in the Key West. Love the hat. So I will tell you this much, Cedric. I used to work for Signature. I don't know if you've seen it before or heard it before. And I am related to an individual who was the manager at Key West several years ago. So I got to travel to Key West many, many times. Love that airport. Love the new FBO, by the way. And the new scenery that just released about a month ago. I forget who makes it. MK Studios for Key West is an absolute must-have, man. So if you don't have it, check it out. All right, boys and girls, we're about getting ready to descend here. You can see that magenta triangle. I'm going to go ahead, make sure VNAV is enabled. Let's reset our altitude, and let me call center. Los Angeles Center, or Denver Center. Upjet 902, we're approaching our top of descent. We'd like to begin descending when able.
Upjet 902, descend and maintain 18,000.
Descend and maintain flight level 180, 18,000 for Upjet 902. There we go, flight level 180 set on the flight guidance computer. VNAV path is showing white, which means it is armed. Once that triangle hits that center line there on the altitude, we should begin that descent. And for the descent checklist, we're going to go ahead and get windshield heat on. Seatbelt signs going on. There we go. We've began our descent just 37 minutes after taking off from Vegas. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, I like to say. Duke, too cloudy here in Central Florida yesterday, unfortunately. Yeah, man, I was supposed to go flying yesterday, and weather wasn't the factor. My instructor called me literally as I was about to get into my truck and go to the airport here in Orlando Executive, and he told me that my airplane, or the airplane that I was going to fly, the shimmy damper was messed up.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet for Upjet 902. But yeah, so I couldn't fly yesterday. I was bummed out, man. And today the weather definitely looks like it's a little bit nefarious again. A little bit of I see some cumulonimbus clouds here around me. I think tops or bottoms were at like 3,200 feet. So not bad for VFR, but not great either. So I'll have to wait till next week. Prime OG, not gonna lie, when I flew the TriStar, I feel like my landing gear was cooked. I tried to butter my MD-11 flashback, came back. Kiev, town of Gander, population 12,000, had 32 wide-body jets, 7,000 passengers at the airport with 4 gates during 9/11. Damn. That is nuts, man. I couldn't imagine being airborne during that time. What a terrible, terrible time for aviation, man. Yeah, Keith, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to check it out, man. All right, so we're going through some clouds here. Temperature is definitely freezing.
902, contact Denver Center on 118.575.
118.575 for Upjet 902. Bye-bye. Denver Center, Upjet 902. We're descending from flight level 350 to 160. And again, remember, guys, the formula for icing conditions is visible moisture and below freezing temperatures. We are in the clouds right now, up in the flight level still. So I'm going to assume we do have moisture up here, and I just want to play it safe. That's why I've got my anti-ice on. Making a left turn here. We're inbound Havu. Well, this is going to happen rather quickly. So our descent checklist is windshield heat on, anti-ice as required. What was the other things I needed? Oh, yeah, landing field elevation. I have to set that. So now I'm going to mess with my pressurization panel here. Let's see. Ah, we're good. Yeah, the inner circle is cabin altitude. Outside is our aircraft altitude. So we're good. Just going to leave it there. And I could be doing that way wrong, by the way. Let's go check our descent profile here. Bottom up descent altitude 13,000. Landing. What were those winds again? I know it was 170 at 9, I think. And temperature was 04. 04 degrees Celsius. Press next. Uphill, 0.4%. Runway width, 105. We've got a threshold of 200 feet. Runway conditions are dry. Look at that density altitude, 9,800 feet. So yeah, that's going to be something to keep an eye out for. Anti-ice will be off. Flaps 35. Landing weight estimated. Let's press next, and there we go. Approach speed 123 with a VREF speed of 118. This is looking interesting here. But you see, is there a certain altitude where you don't need anti-ice, like flight level 410 and any clouds? Good question, man. Again, I think it just varies. What is your temperature? Are you in the clouds, and do you anticipate moisture? And if the answer is yes to both of those, I would highly advise you have your anti-ice set. Keith, Gander Skating Rink became the largest walk-in fridge in North America. Food donations. Oh, damn. Yeah, I've seen documentaries of what happened during the 9/11 while all those airplanes were diverted, man, and the photos, videos of random airfields that you've never even heard of, just stacked with heavy airliners. My God, what a mess. Okay, let's see if we can tune into that AWAS 118325. Maybe still too far.
Down area. Monitor instruments closely. Telluride Regional Airport. Automated weather
Object
observation.
902, descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Maintain present heading vectors for the RNAV runway 9er approach. Altimeter 299er7.
All right, maintain present heading. Descend and maintain flight level 160. Altimeter 299er7 for object 902. Okay, so I'm going to bring my heading knob, and I'm going to set it here on our present heading of 351 degrees. God, it's twitchy. There we go. We're going to go ahead and enable heading mode now. We're going to continue descending to 16,000. And then once we cross through flight level 180, we'll reset that altimeter. Where's my COM 2?
Temperature 4. Dew point -2. Altimeter 299er7. Density altitude 90800 feet. GPS interference reported near the tie-down area. Monitor instruments closely. Telluride Regional Airport. Automated weather observation. 1715 Zulu. Wind 170 at 9er gusting 15. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 4. Dew point -2.
Okay. We've got the weather. I'm happy with that. We'll continue this present heading, by the way. When is Flacco going to join the streams? We need the dynamic duo. Yeah, man. Usually we can do it in the afternoons or evenings because he works regular business hours, and I work weekends, so we try to do it in the evening hours. Maybe tonight we'll get online together. And yeah, those clouds are making me a little anxious. We'll see what happens. Trucking Dad, I see you're back on SayIntentions. Sounds so much better, right?
Object 902, contact Denver approach on 125.35.
12535 for object 902. So long. Denver approach, object 902, descending through 180 for flight level 160 with the weather. So 299er7.
Object 902, Denver approach. Good afternoon, Telluride altimeter 299er7.
299er7 for object 902. Thank you. Okay, we're going to stay on this present heading. Remember, we're on heading mode. That was the last we got cleared to do. And look at this. We're still at 16,000 or 17,000 MSL, and look at the elevation. We're a lot closer to the ground than we think. And I'm going to go ahead and open Sky Dolly. I want to record this landing and show you guys the replay. And again, windshield heat is still on. I've got anti-ice all on. Cy Fernandez has just subscribed. Thank you for the love.
Object 902, descend and maintain 15,000 feet. Turn right heading 045.
Descend and maintain 15,000 feet. Turn right heading 045 for object 902. Okay, 045. Let's go set that on the heading bug. Let's go to vertical speed. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start slowing down the aircraft. Let's go to 180. Really want to give myself ample time here. Don't know what's about to happen.
Upjet 902, proceed direct Tamboy. Descend and maintain 12,000 feet until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 9er approach. Speed below 210 knots until established.
Direct Tamboy, descend and maintain 12,000 until established. Cleared for the RNAV runway 9 approach. Speed below 210 knots until established for Upjet 902. Okay, let's go direct Tamboy. I don't have that. Oh boy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go with the heading mode here. Go down to 12,000. Yep, that's my bad. Let's go heading. I need to make an intercept turn here. How do you spell that? Yeah, TM boy. Okay, so TM boy. There we go. So I'm going to go back to nav mode now. I'm going to arm approach mode. I think I'm doing that right. Yep, that's set. I gotta descend. Whoops. See, I'm getting lost in the sauce here. All right, let's get our landing lights on. Engine sync can come off for the approach. And you see how I slowed down to 180, guys? I want to give myself some breathing room, right? I want to be ahead of the aircraft. They told me speed no more than 210 knots until established. I am not established. I'm merely trying to get myself on course here. And once I know I've got a good glide path capture, you can see it right there, armed on the top right of the PFD. Then I'll go ahead and start introducing flaps and gear. And that's interesting. I don't see Tomboy as part of this. Oh, maybe it was the RNAV Yankee. Okay, no, I'm not liking this. Let's go back to heading mode. She's trying to do that loop-de-loop there. And this is all my fault, guys, by the way. No, look at the Yankee. I don't see Tomboy there. And I've got the latest nav data, too. Okay, let's see if she'll take approach mode now. Evanderson has just subscribed. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for the love. I'm not liking this too much right now. I don't feel confident.
Upjet 902, radar services terminated. Telluride Airport at your 12 o'clock, 14 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk VFR, report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. Have a good afternoon.
All right, we'll Squawk VFR. We'll advise for any missed approach or cancellation of IFR on this frequency. And we'll monitor on the CTAF for Upjet 902. Bye-bye. Wow, I was not expecting that. Nav, tune. What's my CTAF here? I should have looked at that. 123.0. And then we're going to go 1200 on the squawk. That's VFR.
Telluride traffic, Skylane 53 Juliet, taxiing to runway 27. Telluride.
Yeah, we're off course here, guys. I'm not liking this at all.
Telluride traffic, November 1680, departing runway 27. Telluride.
Telluride traffic, Upjet 902, Citation 10 on the RNAV runway 9er approach. Telluride traffic. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's somewhere up ahead here. I don't have the field, guys. Still in heading mode, by the way. You can see. Dude, where am I going? Oh, I see the field. I see the field. Okay. I see Pappy lights. Captain Salty, the problem is it ain't got no gas on it. Yeah, that was my fault. I forgot to skip the hold. Very good point. All right, I do have visual on the runway. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect. Autopilot. My controls. Yeah, terrible, terrible setup, guys. Go standby. Remove that flight director. Let's go gear down. Taxi light on. We're below 210. We can go flaps 15. This is terrible. Holy hell. Telluride traffic, Upjet 902, Citation 10 on a 4-mile final, runway 9. Telluride traffic. We're going to make it happen. Let's get flaps in. And eyes can come off. Keep the windshield heat on. Damn, that was terrible. Terrible setup on my behalf. We're fighting that crosswind. Remember, winds are 170. Look how high I am, dude. Look how we're sinking now. We're just sinking like a rock. It's all good. All good. We go ahead and start recording. Here we go. Damn. Look at this, man. Okay, okay. Bleed off that airspeed. Coming in hot and high. Left rudder.
Telluride traffic, November 45, November Foxtrot taxiing to runway.
Right wing down into the wind. Against departing traffic. Just nice. Beautiful. There we go. Speed brake out. Wait for the nose gear to touch down. Reverse thrust. And back to idle. Not happy with that one, guys. Not happy. That was a horrible, horrible approach. Technically, I should have gone missed. But I did have the field inside. At that point, I was in VFR. I forgot to make my last call, taking runway 9. So, yeah, not my greatest landing or approach by any means. So let's go ahead and vacate here on Alpha 4. Let's check out the replay, because I floated yet again. We've got a Cessna Cardinal here, and he is blocking. Oh, look at that. We've got a 206 as well. All right, let's go ahead and stop the replay, and let's check it out. This is wild. Keith, thank you so much, man. If you're not hanging out, man, thank you for being here. Look at that view, man. See how much I floated? Look at that pitch, too. Jesus. Yeah, so the reverse thrust animation is not fully shown in the replay, and we're about to collide with the 177 there. Your propeller's off, sir. Your engine's off. Sir? Sir? Oh, well. Oh, man. Yeah, that was... Yeah, Prime OG, you're right, man. I did jinx it, man. I said that too. I'm like, watch me butcher this whole thing up. Decent landing, right? Smooth, but in these conditions, you don't go for smooth landings, right? It's about sticking to your approach, following whatever's published on that approach, and landing at that correct speed, right? So that you're not floating like I just did. So good learning lesson for myself. A little humbling there, but I keep things honest, showing you guys that I am not perfect, and I've got a lot of training to do. But that was fun nonetheless, man. It was a beautiful approach here. Let's start cleaning the flaps up. Telluride traffic, Upjet 902, Citation 10 vacating runway 9er at Alpha, taxiing to the ramp via Alpha 4, Telluride traffic.
Approaching runway 2.
Landing lights off,
7.
strobe lights off, speed brakes retracted. Excuse me, sir. Nice station air. Just gonna ignore him. All right, let's go and fire up the APU. As we taxi in. Look how much power I got to get the aircraft moving. Remember, that density altitude, 9,800 feet. Those engines are gasping for air right now. They're looking for those air molecules that are just not present as they are in sea level conditions. Scenery looks good. Looks pretty smooth. Nice detail there into the mountainside or wherever that is there, that cliff. Windshield heat can come off. Ground recognition stay on. Recognition lights can go off. Actually, we'll just keep the ground recognition.
Telluride traffic, Baron 767, taxiing to runway 27 for VFR pattern work. Telluride.
Prime OG saying, welcome to the Force, Gonzo. Keith, I'll read your message here in a second, bud.
Telluride traffic, Cessna 9er Sierra Hotel departing runway 27. Telluride.
That FBO looks nice there. And we've got a Baron taxiing out for departure. Hopefully he lets me taxi in first. Sir, what are you doing? Okay. All right then. Look at this. Look how much power I need to get the airplane moving. What the hell? Come on. Damn, I gotta get that much power? Okay, I'm just gonna taxi next to this Citation here. Looks like a Bravo, an Encore, something of that family. Taxi light is off. Here we go, next to these containers. This looks like a good spot, right? Parking brake is on. Let's make sure that generator is on. Bleed air on. Okay. Throttles to cut off. Passenger seatbelt signs off. Ground recognition light off. Nav can stay on. Pedostatic heat off. Windshield heat verified comes to off. Let's get some chocks on the aircraft. Ground services. Let's go to chocks. And let's step outside. Oh, teleporting here through the fuselage. Here we are. Look at those scenes, man. And yeah, this is the default scenery, guys. Again, check it out. Elevation 9070. Good modeling on that Citation, man. Looks pretty good. Element, if you're watching, man, look at that. That's your boy right there. I know you're on the 550, but That looks pretty good. Oh, man, I can't get enough of the Citation 10. Man, never enough Citation 10 flying. That's for sure. All right, let me catch up on that chat real quick here. I was busy texting in. Keith. Wait. Captain Salty, he doesn't need the engine to fly when you are cool enough. That's referring to the Cardinal, huh? To add one last personal note, my dad, rest in peace, was ATC at Gander Center till he retired prior to 9/11. If you watch the video, my father likely trained a couple of the controllers they interviewed. Wow. Dude, that's awesome, man. And yeah, rest in peace to your father. That's an amazing privilege, just right, to see people that are products of your dad's training. That's awesome. Big responsibility there. Finch, having too much fun flying the Cessna Skycarrier as a bush cargo plane. It needs some bigger wheels. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'm sure Cessna has probably thought of it, putting some bush wheels. Primo G saying, I guess Casper went to go flying. Yeah, I guess so. DX, how's it going? I'm just getting here. Hey, man, yeah, we're just finishing. Touchdown at Telluride. Not my proudest approach. I was not feeling it. One of you guys called it out in the chat. I had a hold program for cones, that VOR, ETL, and I forgot to delete that hold. Therefore, my approach was not a good approach for runway 9. That was an RNAV, and luckily, I was able to break through the clouds and see the runway, so I just took the autopilot and auto throttles off. Flew it myself in, but not my greatest approach, man. Trucking Dad, after looking at the two, I feel like the longitude is just a newer, fancier Citation 10 that's slightly slower. Yeah. Actually, if you look at it very closely, yeah, the latitude was the first evolution forward from the Sovereign, the Excel, and the Citation 10 that you're seeing here. And you can tell by the window cockpits, right? They're slightly different. The nose slightly changes profile. Landing gear, especially the nose wheel, are very identical. Because I used to tow these planes, right? And they're pretty similar, but the longitude then became the big brother to all of them with the slightly longer fuselage, the T-tail config on the tail, and then the swept back wings with the raked or sharkless, I guess you can call them. I don't know if you call them winglets. But yeah, it's an evolution to the Citation 10 and the Sovereign as well. Prime saying, let's just blame the wind. Yeah, let's blame it on the weather. Casper, I'm still here just getting ready for a job interview. Where's this airport located? Asks Michael Kermick. Kernick. This is Telluride, Colorado. Yeah. Colorado. The identifier is Kilo Tango Echo X-Ray, KTEX. Oh, beautiful scenery. You can enjoy it as a default scenery, just the way you're seeing it. Looks very good. Look at all the cargo, containers, baggage. I don't know why bags are sitting out here, though. That's not good. These are all not getting loaded on that Citation. I promise that, unless they're ferrying it and not carrying any passengers. Looks like we've got a good GPU here. This looks like the ones used for airliners with the 400 hertz. Let's see. Yep. Randall Fowler has just subscribed, or Fowler. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the support. Welcome aboard to that Flight Sim Channels family. I'm Captain Gonzo. And thank you for hanging out with us, man, and enjoying the scenes here. So yeah, guys, if you're just tuning in and you want to see a replay of the landing, just scroll back a little bit. Right after I touched down and vacated the runway, I replayed the landing. You guys can judge, but again, I'm not happy about that approach. I could have done way much better. The landing, I'll take it. Smooth, but I touched down, floated way too long on that runway. Luckily, I knew the Citation 10 can stop on a dime, so that's why I stuck to the landing. I didn't go missed. Prime, that's a nice and red suitcase. Steal it from me. Keith, thanks for the support, man. Really, seriously, I appreciate that. Yeah, and again, guys, if you guys don't like anything I do or say one day, that's fine, man. We're not here to be and everybody's, liking, right? I'm sure I'm going to piss somebody off one day. I probably already do. And hey, guys, that's fine, right? But just make sure you interact with me at least, man. Figure out why I'm doing things the way I'm doing it. Ask questions. I had somebody question me the other night asking why I chose an ILS Yankee approach into Las Vegas, and I explained it the best way I could. Little did I know that they were a retired airliner pilot. So I'm like, holy smokes. I could be talking complete nonsense right now, looking like a fool, and I don't know it, right? Because all I'm seeing is usernames, right? Just like you're seeing here, Gonzo. But a lot of you guys have real-world experience. You guys are professionals. I know Trucking Dad is one of them. He's been tuning in lately, and I'm always open to feedback and to correcting myself. And again, I want to rectify any mistakes. But guys, I just enjoy interacting with you guys and having a blast, man. Michael, Thanks for the info, and I happen to enjoy the Citation 10 myself quite a bit. Only been flying about 7 to 8 months myself. Nice. Well, welcome to this addictive hobby. And if you want to, and you want to pursue it in real world, save some money, go fly a little Cessna. It'll change your life. I promise that. Primo G, one day we should do an air show. I'm ready. Oh, you know, Captain Flacco and I were talking about that one time, hosting a DCS server and just hosting a multiplayer event where people could join us and just do some aerobatics and just hang out and watch it. So that might be a good thing to do here in Flight Sim. DX formation flying in T-34s would be really, really cool. Yeah, we've got the T-34. Caronado actually sent it to us when it released so that we could do some reviewing on it. Captain Flacco and I did a joint review. I was out flying, doing stupid stuff over Hawaii, and he was in Sanford, I believe, in Florida. So we kind of stitched the video together, and you can see different perspectives and viewpoints of what I'm covering, what he's covering, and the T-34 is a fun little plane. Keith, thank you, sir. Yeah, nah, man, you be you. That's right, brother. Trucking Dad, do you have a Discord for a PM? Yeah, actually, look me up. Here, I'm going to put it on the chat here. Where's the chat? Here we go. So if you guys ever have any questions or anything, hit me up. This is my Discord ID. Go ahead and send it, man, and I'll try to get back to you whenever I can. We've also got an email, that flightsimchannel@gmail, that we try to monitor and keep an eye out on every week or every day. So if you guys have any questions, let me know, man. Finch, so addictive. I can't wait for some good hardware releases for PS5. Me too, man. I really hope these developers and manufacturers don't leave you guys behind for the console players. You guys absolutely need it. It'll change the way you fly. It'll change the way you interact with your airplane. And when you get yourself a good yoke, a good throttle system, rudder pedals, maybe, you'll have some fun. Truck and Dad, I have the T-33 from Any. It's fun. Oh, I haven't tried that one yet, man. I do have to try. That's another classic bird. Prime, this was a great stream. Thanks, my friend. You're one of the loyal ones. Thank you for being here. Michael, I myself am trying to find a way to improve performance at reading stars. Any suggestions? I frequently get confused with them. Great question. Here, let me hop inside the cockpit before I get off the stream here, and let's take a look on the EFB here. Wait, whoops, wrong keys. And again, keep in mind, brother, I am not instrument rated. I'm instrument rated in the sim, which means nothing. So here, let's go back to the charts. Let's go to Navigraph. Let's pull up Las Vegas, right? Because we were just doing an approach there the other day. What happened? Okay, so we're going to go to Vegas. Did it take it? No. It has to be all caps, I think.
Telluride traffic, Grumman 9er, tree, taxiing to runway 27, Telluride.
So let's look at the Cocktail 4. That's what I used the other night on the Citation 10. So stars, they can be a little convoluted, right? Charts could be very, very intimidating at first. They're there to help you, right? They're there to, A, minimize the workload on the pilots and the air traffic controllers, because everybody should be on any of these stars, right? Standard terminal arrival procedures or routes. And so what that happens is, what that does is it helps. Think about it this way. You're on I-95, right? Or an interstate on the highway. You got to get to whatever city you're going to, right? We all have a destination. We all have a point of origin. Typically, you can't just drive in a straight line, right, from your point A to point B, right? So what do SIDs, standard instrument departures, and stars do for you? Well, they allow you to depart, the SID, allow you to depart from the terminal area, right, especially around the Class Charlies and Class Bravo airspaces like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, Orlando International, Tampa, those busier airports. They have a designed or a definitive routing system for you to navigate out of a terminal area and into. So out of would be a SID, a standard instrument departure. Into would be a star, which is what we're looking at here. So let's look at the Tequila 4 or Cocktail 4 arrival. You can see right here, there is the name. There is your FMC or your McDo code, cocktail.cocktail4, and it's applicable to all runways. Very simple. Pertinent information you'll need. D-ATIS, that is your ATIS, your automated terminal information system. And that gives you a frequency, 132.4. So as you're inbound to your destination, you can tune your comm radio and listen to the weather conditions at that airfield. Next, airfield elevation or airport elevation, 2,181 feet above sea level. You've got your altimeter set in inches, right? Inches of mercury. And your transition level is flight level 180, so that you know that once you cross below 180, you have to tune your altimeter or set it to the altimeter setting of your destination so that you have the correct altitudes readout. If you're above transition altitude, you revert to what's known as standard pressure, which is 29902 or 1013 on the HPA, hexapascals, or the, that's for other parts of the world, right, that use that. Okay, here are the requirements. Radar required, jet aircraft only, and GIN transition is only applicable when assigned by ATC. So right here, if you're on a turboprop or a piston aircraft, this is not the arrival you should be filing for, right? And we can get into the weeds for that a little bit later into another video. But overall, let's look at the graphical depiction here. So you can see this star is servicing the Las Vegas airport as well as other airfields here. But right now you've got Nellis, you've got Vegas, and then you've got Henderson Executive, which probably will use this star as well. But we're going to Las Vegas. So if you're approaching from the northwest, which is what I was doing the other night, I was coming from Portland. I was inbound to Tequila, and Tequila is known as your transition. Why? Consider that your on-ramp into this interstate known as the cocktail for arrival, if that makes sense, right? From there, all you do is look at the arrows and what way they're flowing. Naturally, you would expect them to flow towards your destination. And you can see right here, you can see the airfield being depicted. Let me lower the radio, by the way. I don't want to be interrupted here. Next, what you can look at is your course, right? 134 degrees is the course you should be following. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds here of every single nomenclature or words or anything here because I don't want to get you too confused. I want you to focus on the basics. And speaking of basic, look at that. After Tequila, you should be flowing and following that course to basic. After basic, you've got Fletcher. But what happens here? Fletcher has an altitude constraint, meaning that you see the words or the letters FL and the number 240. That is telling you, with the solid line underneath it, you should be crossing Fletcher at or above flight level 24 or 240. So if you are descending and you cross Fletcher below 24,000, then technically you're deviating from the procedure as published. However, the only thing that can rectify you doing that or gives you the ability to do that is if ATC, for whatever reason, clears you to descend below 24,000 before you get to Fletcher. Now, typically, with SayIntentions and even beyond ATC, they'll like you to stick to your star, right? Whatever is published. From there, we continue inbound to Toberon, whatever that is. And by the way, there's GIN. Remember that note? It said transition is only applicable when assigned by ATC. So you shouldn't expect that unless ATC directs you to go there. From Tiburon or Tiburon, however you say that, we make a slight left turn there on a course of 120 degrees to the southeast, and we go towards Ariel. Now look at right here. Ariel also happens to have a holding pattern. So if for whatever reason you have to go into a hold, ATC will tell you, hey, Upjet 902, go ahead and hold as published on Ariel or at Ariel. Right turns, and they will specify either to follow what's published on the procedure, or they'll tell you make it 8 nautical mile legs, right? That's another subject. I don't want to get into holdings right now. I just wanted to showcase it because you see that pattern right there. And look at Ariel. Now we have a maximum speed of 280 knots. So if you're still sticking to that VNAV path, right, with your VNAV engaged, and you've got your auto throttle set, and you've got your McDo or your CDU or your FMC configured correctly, the FMS should automatically know that we can't cross that any greater than 280 knots. And look at that, another altitude constraint at or above flight level 210. Next, you just continue the chart. Now here it gets a little hairy. Cocktail at 250 knots. That means it is definitive. You have to cross Cocktail at 250. And look at this. Now we've got 2 altitude constraints with 2 different bars. So when you cross Cocktail, you should be crossing at or below flight level 190, but at or above 16,000. Makes sense? So you're sandwiched between 19,000 and 16,000, and you should be crossing somewhere in between that. Then you go to Zilda, 14,000 or above. Now, here's something else that happens. Let's say you're going to be landing on runway 8 left and 8 right. Well, your procedure here, your arrival is going to change based on what runway you can expect. If you're landing like I did on runway 26 left or right, you can expect to cross from Zilda, inbound to Dion. Again, look at the altitude constraints, Envy, Redcune, and then Bourbon. If you're landing runway 8 left and right, however, you can then expect to proceed, going southbound here to Mescal Lumi, Zinpi, slots. And then look at here. At ROAM, we've got a note. This is for runways 1 left and 1 right. Expect the ILS or localizer runway 1 left, approach or radar vectors to final approach course. So, again, it's simply just reading your chart, looking at the flow of your arrival, understanding your speed and altitude constraints where applicable, and making sure your aircraft is configured to follow instructions. Now, remember, when you're using VATSIM, right, real-life people, or you're using a service like SayIntentions or Beyond ATC, they can vector you. They can tell you, hey, Upjet 902, leave Envy on a heading of, I don't know, 130, expect vectors in 5 minutes. And at that point, you are no longer required to follow that published route. However, if the opposite of that is true and ATC has not given you vectors, they're expecting you to follow the published procedures as published. And at this point, look what happens after Bourbon, right? We have the Boulder City VOR. What this is telling me here is, if I haven't received any further instructions when I get to Bourbon, which typically they will, first I have to cross it at 210 knots and at 8,000 feet. And look at the runways that this is applicable to. 19 left, 19 right, 26 left, 26 right. And I should expect to continue inbound to the Boulder City VOR on a track or a course of 83 degrees. And at this point, you stick to that course towards the Boulder City VOR until vectored for the your approach. If it's an ILS or RNAV, yada, yada, yada. So again, I hope this was a simple explanation. I'm sure I butchered some things. I'm going to look at the chat now and see if anybody is saying, hey, whoa, whoa, that's not right. But I hope this is a simple way to understand it. Just look at your flow, understand your altitude and speed constraints, and understand what runway you're expecting for the airfield, which again depends on your ATIS. You got to tune in, see what runways they're using, and configure your aircraft accordingly. All right. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Keith saying, I've appointed you as an honorary Newfoundlander, sir. You'd fit right in. Something about Islanders. Yeah, I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the love. Truck and Dad saying, I sent the Discord. Might show as one eye on the username. That way, when you start, if you can try, stay in touch if you want. Absolutely, sir. I will. Michael, thank you for the overview. Does this approach have you do a 180-degree turn onto final? I have had issues with the approach I get into Las Vegas. Yeah, technically, right? Because we're on a track here, or a course of 83 degrees, about due east, and we're landing west, right, in this example. So yeah, they would probably vector you, let's say, turn left heading 345 and accept the localizer 26 left, cleared for the ILS. At that point, once you're cleared for the approach, you just arm your approach mode, make sure you're establishing the localizer, and the aircraft should follow that glide slope down to the runway 26. So technically, yes, you can expect a 180 turn unless otherwise vectored. They might extend you. They might extend you on a downwind going away from the airfield and then turning you last minute. Also, how do I determine appropriate rate of descent between waypoints using the FMS and the McDo? Well, that's where your VNAV comes in handy, right? Once you set up your star and your approach, your FMS, your McDo, should calculate your top of descent, which is with respect to your landing field elevation, right? And so what happens is the top of descent is already calculated with specific descents or descent rates, wherein you should be abiding by all those altitude constraints until you get into that terminal phase where you're getting ready to arrive. Awesome, Keith. Awesome, Michael. I'm glad this really helped, man. Hey, can you tell me the meaning of life? Oh, brother. Are we even alive? Who knows? This could all be a simulation. I could be an AI for all you know. I could be an AI dude right now. I could just be some random person making all this be fake. But who knows, man? Who knows if we're alive? DX, thanks for that, man. Again, I'm not instrument rated. I haven't flown instrument real life just yet. I will be momentarily in the next coming months as I begin my training. But I like to use Flight Simulator as a tool and as a resource to at least get familiar with the nomenclature, get familiar with what to expect. And keep in mind, I'm going to be flying a Cessna. I am not going to be doing stars like this. Nowhere near. This is for turbojet aircraft only. So I'm going to be doing much more basic stuff, but I know flight instructors like to do some fun stuff in the training, so I can't wait for that. Oh, Keith, absolutely. Absolutely. I do remember Monty Python. What was that one skit where he chops his arm off and he's like, it's nothing but the scratch. You know, he's just bleeding. Yeah, I remember Monty Python. Classic skids. The supercomputer told us that the meaning of life is 42. Wow. I'm done, guys. I'm done. My brain can't process this anymore. I can't look at this anymore. Prime OG, Flight Simulator is the best thing developers have made for people who love aviation. Been a fan of aviation since I was 8, and now I am turning 19 this month, and I'm still loving it. Hell yeah, brother. Go fly, man. Save some money. Do a discovery flight. You're going to have a blast. Truck and Dad. Lowell, your CFI will love you and your instructor's dream student. Oh, man. Thank you so much, brother. And again, Truck and Dad, I know you've mentioned you used to fly jets. You have real-world experience. And it means a lot, man. You're saying that again. I like to stay ahead of the curve. That's how I got through my private pilot 10 years ago. Flight Simulator takes a lot of credit for that because I learned the basics. Now, doing them in real world, when you have winds, when you feel that turbulence, especially in steep turns and stuff like that, that's a whole nother ball game. But the Flight Simulator really can be a great training resource and tool. So I appreciate that. Pop-Tart the Brave, Black Knight for the Holy Grail. Oh, okay. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, classic as well. And Michael, yeah, I think Trucking Dad said he's got the AnyBuilds T33. I don't have it. I'll have to purchase it so I can do some fun stuff. All right, guys, I gotta get off the air. Maybe tonight I'll probably do another stream. I think I have time tonight. Oh, look at the cabin altitude, by the way. We're hypoxic. Anyways, yeah, guys, I gotta get off the air. I gotta go take care of my son. I gotta go get some lunch. But guys, I think I'm gonna get back online tonight. All right, so before I get off, let me do a few more chats here. Any chance you do helicopters as well? I'm trying to learn how to fly them now, and it is a whole new animal compared to planes. I do fly helos in DCS World, not so much in Flight Sim, but I'd be more than happy to do maybe a quick hop one of these days on a helo and maybe teach you guys. Just remember, anti-torque pedals are your life. Not rudder pedals, anti-torque pedals. That's what's going to help you maintain good coordinated flight with helos. Half the battle is knowing the procedure for IFR. You got a lot of it already. Thanks for that, Truck and that. Really appreciate it, man. Who wants Pop-Tarts? I do. Finch, everyone should get a free NX Cub. Oh, yeah. That's a nice plane. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you for tuning in. Smooth landings, happy flying. We'll see you on the next one. This is Captain Gonzo. Later, guys. Thanks so much for the love.